really good for this client?
Well, what really intrigued me about the story is that he wanted to have a predominantly African American cast. It is an African American family, so we wanted to keep it as authentic and real as we could. What I loved about it is that you don't really see too many short film, somewhat happy ending with an African American family. But the other thing that I guess really wanted to encourage myself and the company to help with this film was the fact that it involved around a family pet. And not everybody considers a family pet as a member of their own. They just see it as an animal. And to this family, Simmel's family, Isabella meant a lot more than just a random pet in the house. And I wanted to show what love people have for their animals and kind of bring it to life.
I'm gonna keep jumping back and forth through the line here. Kalina, I think we can all agree that you did wonderful. You were great. You were great to have on set, and you're just such a ball of energy. And you brought that out in kind of all of us. And moving to Carrie and you two, what was it like being kind of a father-daughter relationship on screen? How did you guys kind of work through that?
I think we just took time to really get to know each other and just have a good time and joke and play and things like that. And it just kind of, when it was time to act, it just naturally came out at that point, you know. So it was just organic after we really just kind of got into it. How about you?
Well, I really like my dad, and so I just pretended he was my real dad.
That's a great answer. So, Manny, you and I have worked together for quite a bit now. This is something I've noticed that is really something different than what you normally get out of it. What made you really want to do something like this, and what intrigued you about the project?
Hello, guys. For me, it was okay. I got an idea for the story. I felt it was like, okay, this is a story that can be told in a very straightforward way, which I always like to make my stories too complicated. So I was like, oh, this is my chance to do something more simple and kind of like. So I come up with this idea of doing it without dialogue, kind of like letting the emotion kind of carry the story. And for me, it was that's what drive me to inspire to work with this on the story. I also kind of felt early on when we were developing the script. I felt like it has to be about this little girl loss and how the loss of her loss is affecting the whole family. And I wanted to emphasize that.
Good answer. Daniel, you were this freaking guy. You were our cinematographer. Can you take us through the process of how you and Manny kind of developed the way it looked, and the certain shot choices that you guys made, and how those setups, how those came about, how just basically the overall look of the film?
Well, a couple of things that we try to focus on is the director Manny here. He loves his one shots. He loves the long takes, and we wanted to try to still incorporate that into the movie. But another big influence actually for us in shooting this was a lot of the Pixar animated shorts, all those Disney shorts that are very kind of montagey.
Yeah.
And we kind of wanted to, especially with this movie, we didn't want to focus on dialogue. We thought the characters, their emotions, and their actions speak enough about what this movie is all about and conveys the message in a more powerful way. So we tried to actually plan the shots accordingly to that. So especially the scene with the parents in the bedroom, and then it kind of like dollies into the wall, and then it goes into the girls' bedroom. That was something we planned from like the very beginning. And we try to focus making the movie overall like that.
And kind of read my mind during your answer there. I wanted to start talking about the choice to use almost no dialogue. It's pretty much, that's something you don't necessarily see, but you know, like you said, it's kind of going into those Pixar shorts. How was that creative decision decided on? Similar, you can come over here because I'm sure you were part of that process. So who made the creative decision to do, the no dialogue?
Yeah, I'd say it was a joint one between Manny and I and Daniel for sure. There was dialogue in the original script, which was really like a replay of the day. It was a hodgepodge. There was original scene in the screen in the play in the script where the shovel scene where it was just me digging a grave earlier, but I guess it kind of lend itself to some Pet Sematary horror stuff, but so we decided to change that. And I think they're but the idea was to use less of the dialogue and then go with some of that Pixar or that type of understanding with allowing the characters to do their best.
Oh, yeah. For me, it's what I said before. I started watching I was trying to figure out a way to work with the dialogue. I was like the dialogue. I wanted to kind of like make it shorter and tighter. So I started watching a bunch of animated short films, and then I noticed that a lot of them didn't have dialogue. And I was like, it would be interesting to do something like that in live action. So I was kind of I figured out with Daniel later on that I was like, we have to keep it in motion. So kind of always moving the camera. So in a way that feels kind of like a montage. So that's kind of I had the idea kind of start developing. So we kind of figured out a way to shoot it without dialogue, and I was very happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I enjoyed this is the last thing because I am out of questions for you guys. But it was real nice working with all these people. I've worked with these three closely for, I guess, the past, various time frames and, a few years. And these three were great to have on set and bringing a great project to the table, Simil being the writer, and Kalina and Carrie pulling out great performances. And unfortunately, one of the actress, Lori, who plays the mother, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but she did great as well. I enjoyed working with these people a lot, and I would definitely do it again. But thank you guys, everyone, for coming out and seeing it, and keep track of our other projects that you saw in the previews. Anyone wants to say something else?
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you to Carrie and Kalina. There, round of applause for them. I thought they were convey so much, both of them, with their eyes, and we don't need dialogue with those strong performances.
Enjoy the rest of your food and have a good night.